What's going on, everybody? It's your boys over No Days Off DFS here to bring you guys some prop plays for tonight's Thursday night football. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys, as always, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content I am dropping over here on the channel. And drop a like on this video if this video or any of my other videos help you guys win some money. Now, I know I've been pretty spotty with a couple of these videos, especially for WNBA. Just really have not had the chance to be able to get those videos, but I will have a breakdown for tomorrow's WNBA contest that will be up on the channel. So definitely, if you guys are looking for WNBA content, make sure you guys check that out. And then, of course, the NBA season is right around the corner, and I will be covering that just like I've done in the year past. So looking at it for this showdown, like I said before, NFL, we've actually been doing pretty well. This past Sunday, plays I went over on the video, they did not do too hot. Honestly, injuries, Rashid Rice getting injured in that game, and then just it being a dog show in the Washington Commanders and the Cardinals game, that just did not go the exact way that I was expecting for that game to go. Chelsea Gray struggling out there, didn't have an assist until the second. Like, that was the worst assist game I've ever seen from Chelsea Gray, considering she's point guard. And of course, she cleared it in the next game. AT, Courtney Williams, same thing for them. And then, of course, they killed it in the next game. Right there. It was honestly a mixing pot of what to expect on a Sunday slate. But of course, I shouldn't be surprised. Sundays are definitely just Sundays. But you can toss that, put it in the past. Definitely going to go right back and get onto another streak going, because today I really do actually like this game. I do feel like there should be some scores being scored. Tampa Bay has been playing very well. Baker Mayfield looks very good out there. The Atlanta Falcons, surprisingly, well, shouldn't be surprised. The more games they're playing and everything, more reps. Big Kirko's getting out there. He's looking very well with those receivers and stuff. So definitely starting to see the vision somewhat for the Falcons out there. So definitely some plays that we can definitely hop on. So first, I'm going to go over a first quarter slip. You guys know I like looking at some of the first quarter lines, especially if I think they're low. Some spots that we can probably attack and target. Now, both these teams, they do pass at a pretty good rate. Not too heavy on the run game. There are a couple of rushing props that I do like, but that's more for the full game. Now, both these, I don't mind looking at Kirko for his 47.5 passing yards. They do tend to pass quite a bit, especially when they can't get the run game going with Robinson and Algier out there. So I don't mind taking Big Kirko for 47.5 passing yards. And with that being said, if I'm going to take that, I definitely do like Drake London, 8.5 receiving yards, wide receiver one. Very good rapport he's building with Kirko out there. He has cleared that. Looking at it, last three of their games they played, he's literally has gone straight over that. So I don't mind looking at Drake London. And then Bijan Robinson, we do know that he is definitely the back that they will look to, especially on those passing downs. A very good receiver when it comes down to, especially out the backfield. And if Tempe is to get any type of pressure on to Kirko back there, we do know he will check down, especially out of the play action. That's one of the biggest things that the Falcons do run. And Bijan Robinson, I could definitely see him. I kind of think this is a slap in the face, that 0.5. They definitely are messing with us with that one. And then going to the other side, Chris Godwin, he's very involved, very heavily targeted over there for Baker Mayfield, one of the more reliable receivers between him and Big Mike Evans. But Chris Godwin, I do actually like that one right there for that 9.5 receiving yards for him as well. He's cleared that in what? 2 out of the last 3 games that they played so far. And then if you want to go all the way back to going up against Washington, he has cleared it on September the 8th going versus them. So I definitely don't mind going to this one right here. Like I said, very much reliable, very target heavy in regards to coming down from Baker. He's looked at quite a bit on those first looks. And then field goals made, definitely I can see either one of these teams stalling out. They get down there to the red zone, can't get it in. I can see either Chase McLaughlin or Young Ho, both of them very reliable kickers, good kickers in their own right. So I don't mind either one of those guys. If you were to build a full first quarter, you just want something quick to sweat, whatnot, I don't mind tossing like $10 on a slip like that. Definitely wouldn't hate it. Might actually throw it up on Patreon later on for that. Now, first half, I do again feel like there will be some air yards going on inside this game. I really am liking the pass. Very heavy on Big Kirko. We already know if they get down 1 or 2 scores, which Tampa Bay, they've come out firing, playing very well over the last several games. I can definitely see Kirk having to pass the ball like what he has had to do in a couple of games past. So that 117.5 passing yards, really don't hate that at all. He has cleared that in 3 out of their last 4 games. The only game he didn't clear was versus Philly. So not bad at all. Very good reliability when it comes down to that. And if we're going to be looking to that, I definitely am going to be looking to Drake London and to Bijan Robinson again for their receiving yards. And then running it back from Tampa Bay, again, Chris Godwin, very reliable, very heavily used, especially out of that slot position. I do like the upside for him right there as well for that 33.5 receiving yards. That's right there, barely below one of my favorite props, which is going to be his Goblin for today, which he's cleared in 4 out of 4 games so far on the season. But at 33.5, as you can see, he has cleared that in 3 out of the 4 games that they played. So again, very target heavy, very reliable whenever it comes down to it. So I really do like all 3 of these right here. And then Mike Evans, very much, he's hit or miss to me, period, because we do know he's going to be that down the field threat, especially if they have the time to get that that shot down the field, that 20, 30 yards. Definitely Mike Evans will be a case for that. Not too heavy on that one, just because I really do like Chris Godwin. I know he can get those chunk yards when it comes down to it from playing out of the slot. But going over here to the main plays, the main stuff that I really do like on today. First play, going to go right back to my boy Bijan Robinson. The upside for him here today, I really do think that it is there. A couple of the props. Now, I'm not too heavy on the rushing props for him on today. I do feel like he's being used more in regards to that pass, that pass heavy attack for him. Now, this 3.5 receptions, I would have liked it more if that was at 2.5. If you can find that anywhere at 2.5, I don't mind taking that right there. Like I said, he does see quite a bit of targets. He has cleared that 2.5 line. I hate when the site does that. I don't know why it does that, but it really does aggravate me. But that 2.5, he has cleared that going back so far in the season. 3 out of the 4 games that they played. Only game that he didn't clear was going up against KC, where he only had 2. But now the receiving yards, that 15.5, I love the upside of this. He's cleared this in every game they played so far this season. I am going to be looking at the Goblin. Now, if you want to take the main step at 28.5, it has been bumped up. It was at 25. I don't mind looking at that just because Tampa Bay has allowed the most receiving yards to opposing running backs. All running backs that have gone up against them so far in the last 4 weeks, they've cleared. They have literally been able to run and get chunk yards off of them. Again, I do feel like there's safety in the Goblin 15.5. That should be easy, no sweat, easy day. But this 28.5, it is a little bit on the frisky side. We do know that he definitely can't get, like I said, that pass action. That would definitely be there for him to get some chunk yards out of that. But looking at it, the backs that have gone up versus them, David Montgomery, 30+ receiving yards out there versus them. The Broncos, Javonte Williams, he's cleared that with 29 receiving yards. Going up against Philly, Saquon Barkley, he was out there running amok, 32 receiving yards. And then Washington, who was it? Brian Robinson, he cleared that easy day for them. So don't mind taking that 15.5, of course, like I said, but that 28, I can dabble. Not a main stable, but definitely a little bit risky. But I don't mind looking at that one as another play that you could possibly go to. Sticking over here on the Atlanta side, if we're looking at receiving yards, again, just some correlation that we could definitely play and put into when it comes down to these props over here. Definitely something you should be doing, especially with the NFL, because everything is correlated. Everything in the NFL is correlated whenever it comes down to it, depending on how you're building out your lines. Big Kirko, that 230 passing yards. A little bit on the not too sure side for me, but that 199.5 passing yards, love that. He has cleared that in 3 out of the 4 games that they have played. Again, I do expect for this to be a pass heavy type game, especially considering that Atlanta, they are passing the ball roughly about 57-58% of their time possession when they do have the ball, especially if they are expected to be behind in this game. I do see Kirk is going to have to pass. It's going to be a pass script, but that 199.5 passing yards, I do like the upside for that one right there. Then also his pass completion, that would be one more of a lean for me. That 21.5, again, I do expect for it to be pass heavy. I can't see this being some little choppy, simple passes and stuff like that. We do know that they will take sometimes that deep shot. They are starting to open that up more and more now for Atlanta as he gets more and more comfortable. So I don't mind looking at that 21.5. And you definitely can mess with this 32 and half pass attempts, just because, like I said, I'm expecting for this to be a very much pass heavy type thing. Now, if you want to take a lean, this is very much a lean. Both of these are leans. They're not main stable plays. The main play I want is this 199.5 passing yards, but that 1.5 passing touchdowns right here, definitely it is a demon for a reason. I can see Kirk getting one, but I would entertain that 1.5. I definitely could see us going there. And if we are looking at the passing yards and the receptions and things like that, Drake London, I don't know what it is, but he likes playing going up against Tampa. Throughout the history, he has cleared over 100 receiving yards pretty much every game that he's going up against them. Also on top of that, looking at it, his receptions, he's getting at least 7 receptions, averaging 7 receptions versus them for his career. So that 5.5 receptions, that line already looks a little bit too low for me, and he has cleared that in the last 3 games. Only game he missed that was versus Pittsburgh. Again, first game of the season. I do expect the targets to definitely be there. So that 8.5 target line, Definitely something I could see us going to looking at, especially playing out the slot. Those little simple passes, things like that. And the rapport between him and Cousins is getting better and better every week. But mainly, I would be looking at 39.5 receiving yards prop right here for him. He has cleared that in 3 out of the last 4 games that they have played. Again, you can mess with that 63.5. Just understand it'll be a little bit of a tease. Definitely could be a little risky in regards to him getting there. So really will be more heavy on that 39.5 receiving yards right there for me. Another player that likes to play going up against the opposing team, that's going to be our guy, Mike Evans. I don't know what it is, but he also has a pretty decent history in the 15 plus games that he has played going up against Atlanta for his career. 4.5 receptions. We can entertain and entice that. But that rushing receiving touchdown, I do actually like looking to that. We do know that Mike Evans, he is a red zone threat. If they get down there within the 10, 15, they are going to be looking to him. Definitely big body, big type receiver. He has cleared this in 2 out of the 4 games that they played so far in the season. I do like that one as a sprinkle, especially if I'm playing a 5 or 6 flex. I can see us going there for Mike Evans as a possible play. Again, his history, he's had over 11 touchdowns versus Atlanta for his career. So he does like to get up for these games going up against Atlanta. I don't know what it is. I'm not too sure. But on the other side, again, main staple for me, man. Main staple, Chris Godwin. I just love Chris Godwin. I've heard him up before in regards to being a play for me on slates, but that 49.5 receiving yards, he's cleared this in every game so far this season, 4 out of 4 in the season. Again, very simple pass, playing out the slot. Definitely can get the yards after the catch. The upside is definitely there for him. And then if you want to mess with the 6, where did it go? I cannot stand when this thing does that. But if you want to mess with that 6 receptions, you definitely can. He has either gone over or pushed in every single game of the season. Again, for the fact that he is that receiver that does get those little simple passes within the 10 yards, things like that, the upside for him to actually clear that is there. And it's very much easy for him. And last but not least, last play I want to go over is going to be our guy, Bucky Irvin. Looking at him, he seems to have started to at least eclipse White in regards to being the run back one. The snap count is going up for him. And he is honestly the more explosive and the better back between the two, from what I've seen in regards to some highlights, things I've watched. And of course, young season, he is a rookie. He has cleared this line 45.5 rushing yards in 3 out of the 4 games that they have played. He is averaging roughly 5 yards per carry on the ground. Again, the upside is going to be there for him. I do like the upside for that 45.5, the regular line. I will actually be taking that because Atlanta, they are roughly giving up about 75 rushing yards to opposing backs. And if he is seeing the main bulk of the carries, especially as being the RB1, Tampa Bay, they get up. You know, they are going to try to run the clock. I can't see him going over that 45.5. Now, if you want to take the Goblin, of course, Goblin is firmly in play. 24.5, that should be easy day. I definitely can see him go out there and clearing that. But we definitely will be focusing on that 45.5. And if you're a little frisky, think he can go ahead and get the 50, I do think he can go out here and get about 50, 55 yards. I would entice taking that 49.5. Rushing yards one as well. If you want to mess with the receptions, I'm not really too heavy on Bucky for his receptions, but you definitely can mess with that. We do know he can get some dump offs and things like that. Definitely the upside would be there for him, so I don't mind going to that. But mainly for me, that 45.5 rushing yards, I do like the upside for that. As you can see, 29 other thousand people, they do agree with that right there. And then of course that 24.5 rushing yards, that one should be a no-brainer and an easy day for him to be able to go ahead and clear that one right there as well. But all right, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Hopefully you guys did get something from this video. As always, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content I am dropping over here on the channel. Good luck to everybody on this Thursday Night Football. This one should be a banger. It should be a good game. Hopefully it is, and it's not gonna be a snooze fest like what we have had for a couple of the games so far whenever it comes down to showdown. Good luck to everybody. Peace.